Copyright disclaimer. Under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news, reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Non-profit educational or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use. Viewer discretion is advised. All praises, all praises, all praises. All praises to the Most High YAHAWAH, the Heavenly Father. Name of the Holy Spirit, the Earthly Mother, sanctifying YAHAWAH, the Holy Son. Brothers and sisters, Jews and Gentiles alike, welcome. This is your humble servant, Big Levi, and today is Tuesday, September the 21st, 2021, and it's currently 12:47 a.m. Eastern Time. That is the time I started to pre-record this video. Peace be unto you. Peace be within you. There'll be no Jacob's trouble. Beloved, this is the island of Palma. That's the volcano still erupting, and things is really bad over there. Okay, we are going to watch, and we're going to give the Most High glory and praises for everything. All right, my apology. Well, I forgot what I was saying. There's a lot of things that the Most High is doing, and he's using the angels to carry out his plan. Brethren, sister, the world, the Gentiles, the heathens, they refuse to admit that the Heavenly Father is the creator of the earth, the heaven, and everything in them. He is the one doing this. They refuse to admit that we are his children. They refuse to admit and confess that they did us wrong. Therefore, they have a bunch of people online, especially Christians, going around and saying those things are being done by men. Somebody just sent me a video which I will not profile here, which I never profile this guy because I don't pay attention to what Christians are saying. And the Most High is not speaking to them. He's speaking to us, and he's speaking through us and through what you're calling nature. Now, the video that this fellow upload, and some dude over there in the UK, he's a funeral director or something, and this fellow, he seeing the statistics, so to speak, he saw how many people are no more because of plague number 8. Now, what's happening here? They are dismayed. They are afraid. So they are saying, "Oh well, La Palma is not the biggest concern. Your biggest concern is the mark of the beast." You see, you Christian can't come out there and say anything now. Everything that you've been saying they fell flat on their face, and they're all lies. You guys come up with the Left Behind series. You said that, mark of the beast, before the mark of the beast get here, you guys going to be raptured. Before all those volcanoes and the plagues and all the shooting and all that, which we're mostly going to see in these videos, all going to be swords left and swords right, sword up, sword down, and all around. So you are not being raptured, yet you are here making silly little videos, taking credit from the Most High and put it on Bill Gates and Warren Buffett. The rich people. Rich people are doing this. Oh, rich people, they are doing that. The depopulation. Oh, hell no. The only depopulation that are going throughout the earth is the Most High depopulation, and he's removing you. That is why you are alarmed. That is why you are afraid. if, brothers and sisters, Jews and Gentiles alike, this plague was out there killing our people, they would have kept it very quiet. They would have never reported. They would have been very, very quiet. There would have been no cure for it. They're just going to say, well, it's not our fault. You know, we are the scientists here, and we told you it's going to take 10 to 20 years to develop a good cure. And we have to do tests and stuff. They will have run all sort of tests on our people, and they would have never come up with a cure. They would have when that thing eliminate like 99.99% of us, and then they would have developed a cure, and to keep the 1% down, to feed on the fear, to feed on the energy through the ley line. If you see people that, well, straight up Gentiles or straight up Christian or online, terrifying of what they are calling the mark of the beast, which is not. The Q is not the mark of the beast. That's not what that is. You came with your mark of the beast in 1492 when you come up in our land. You are the mark, and we reject you and your God and your gods. Cesare Borgia, white Jesus, Jesus Christ, all your religions, all your way of lives, all your philosophy, we reject them. The moment, brothers and sisters, you cleave unto the Most High, the mark is being rejected. No matter if you use the money or whatever you're doing out there, Satan cannot mock you when the Most High already mocked you from the spiritual realm. He has no power against you, over you. Satan is powerless, and he's taking his, well, he abandoned them. He's taking his children home now. They are seeing the data. They are out of their freaking mind. They are coming with all sort of conspiracy theories. They never tell the truth, which is they know. They saw our videos. They refuse to say the truth, and we really don't care. All we, at least us over here, all we care about, the people that are here, we care about what Father's doing and how he's talking to us, and we are paying attention, such as this. Now, beloved, we are going to go a series of videos, and then we're going to profile them. And, well, you already saw the prayer that we did today. I'm not quite sure what that prayer was going to be about, but we might have a study today. Well, anyway, this is past tense. I'm speaking from the future. If we have a study, which I'm strongly believe we will, this is going to be released at 11 p.m. If not, it's going to be released at 8:30 p.m. It depends on how busy my day was. That's why I always do those things on in the a.m. Brethren, sister, is that thing even recording right now? Let's see. Is it? Okay, yes it is. All right, let us go ahead, brethren, sister. Let us see the Most High wrath. Okay, so put the volume down right here. Excuse me. As you can see, this is the island, the place. Okay, that's the lava. Okay, this is like right in those people's houses. You can clearly see the lava coming inside of their house. Okay. So you mean the elites are doing this? Bill Gates is doing that? Oh, don't worry about this. Don't worry about La Palma. Worry about the mark of the beast. No, sir. I am worrying about this right now. I'm watching this. What my father's doing. This is literally plague number 2. Fiery conflagration of the cities. Okay. So now, as you can see, brothers, the volcano literally burn down this house. And again, I don't know why those people like to shoot things in portrait vertical. I don't know why. Please hold your phone or reason to. We want to see this side, we want to see that side. This is 10% of the action, man. Social media really ruin people. All right, look at this. Look at this, brothers. This is his house. Oh, dangerous. Look at this. All praises to the Most High. How man is able to make this, brothers? How man can alter the map? The lava literally sweep this house off the land. Look, give the Most High praises and glory. Give the Most High praises and glory, brothers. You can't make that up. Okay? All right, look at this. Okay, the lava blocked the wood. You cannot evacuate. Okay? It's coming slow, but it's dangerous, it's hot. Okay? All right. Okay. Look at this. Okay, this thing is coming to their house. Okay, their house is being burnt down. The Most High is burning them off the land. Again, beloved, you are seeing this is not. Let me see something before I say something. So I would be wrong here. I'm wrong all the time. All right, detective search for arsonist will destroy. I'm not quite sure what that is, but we will take this. Okay, now you see. Let's see. Top news. Top news is FBI raid police home of Gabby Petito boyfriend. Canada Trudeau calls snap election September whatever. Why Texas doctor defied abortion. Border patrol begins to remove Haitian. Let's see what else. Nothing. Those are the top news. Okay, let me see down there if they have some top news. Okay, the volcano is not here yet. Okay, no, those are my subscription or people that I follow and stuff like that. Now, brothers, this is not in the top news. Okay, but a few months ago, see, this is not being pushed by NNBC and CNN or whatever. A few months ago, volcano St. Vincent. Okay, 2021 eruption. Now, when this 5 months ago, okay, it was in BBC News. It was all over the place. Okay. People, they were, because those people look like us. Okay, those people look like us. And a lot of them are all people, but not all skin folks or kin folks. Okay, they were focusing on this thing. Channel 4 News was over there on the ground. Caribbean volcano destroy everything. Oh, those people. Oh, look at this. What was it? Apocalypse Lens take after my volcano ashes and stuff. And they make this thing into a big deal. They did make this into a big deal. But you can see those people's houses are being burnt down. Thank you for whoever filmed this with their phone holding this. Look at this. Literally, those people's houses are being burnt down, yet you don't hear anything. In fact, you're hearing the agents out there telling you, don't worry about this. This is not your biggest concern. Your concern is the mark of the beast. Yeah, nah, you guys are the beast and you were marked by the Most High from the spiritual realm. Nah, it is your time. That's why you guys are terrified. You're seeing your young people in their 20s or no more. What you've been seeing right now, brothers, when you watch YouTube, a lot of so-called influencers, the people online that are influencing our people, the people that are saying certain slick things, they are elevated the so-called rich people. Their lifestyle is about having a good time in our land and making funny video, mocking our people, mocking our land, mocking the Most High. Most importantly, what you're seeing right now, those people are dying at alarming rates. The so-called YouTubers, the TikTokers, the Instagrammers, the influencers, they are dying like rapidly. Not because of they are, taking each other's out with Jiffy Pop and all that, because of N8, plague number 8. And it is taking a lot of those young people out there. That's why those people are alarmed right now. If it was our people still, okay, when gun violence still taking a lot of our people out, all those people moved. When AIDS was obliterated our people, our youth, did those people did they move? Where they move? Did they say anything like, oh, we are in trouble, mark of the beast? Nope, they didn't say anything. They keep it very quiet. In fact, they blame everything on you. Pull yourself by the bootstrap, get a good job, start having sex with everybody. You know, when they are the one that came in our hood, and then Dark Alliance, and then coming in our hood, and did all those stuff. Okay, all right. Talking about Dark Alliance, let me see if I can find something right here. If I can find it, I'll play it. But if I can't, I'll leave it. Okay, all right. Let's see. This report came out, and oh boy, let me see. May 15, 1989, over 32 years ago, okay, when you people were basking in your blessing, all right? Usually I don't want to play this all over there. I can't move this in the middle, but all right, well, to hell with it. Let's just play this.
Now it's on to Attorney General Thornburg and the new crime package, economic cooperation between the Soviet Union and China, a report on an epidemic of sexually transmitted diseases, and New York's underground man. Attorney General Dick Thornburg is first tonight. He is here to talk about crime and the $1.2 billion anti-crime program announced today by President Bush. The proposal calls for $1 billion in new prisons, 825 new FBI and other federal agents.
So this is what you guys were doing to fight the crime, okay? Spending billions of dollars to build prison, okay? And then, okay, so now that wasn't the mark of the beast. That wasn't Jacob's trouble. When you guys were building one of your billion-dollar prisons all over the place, more law enforcement agent and federal, because it wasn't a public, what they call it, a public crisis, a public emergency, a public health crisis. Okay, it was a crime. Okay, so you guys were combating crime and our people. Okay, brothers, forgive me. It's going to take me a while to get to the volcanoes and the other videos, but let us bear with us. Let us bear with me, brethren, how those people used to do the stuff when we were heavy under Jacob's trouble. All right, let us watch what slick things they used to do.
The wider use of the death penalty in murder cases, stiffer penalties for gun-related crimes, and a ban of some imported semi-automatic weapons, but not those made in America.
Of course.
Mr. Attorney General, welcome.
Jim, good to be here.
First, on this semi-automatic weapon situation, only foreign-made ones are banned. Why?
Well, I think you have to take a look at the whole package before you start examining each part. What President Bush, I think, was telling us today is that if we're going to have a kinder, gentler nation for all of our citizens, we've got to get rougher and tougher with those citizens who are engaged in violent criminal activities, mostly drug-related.
I cannot put it any better than this guy. We have to get tougher on those people that are doing drug-related stuff, aka black folks, the Hebrew Israelites. That's when you guys thought the priesthood of Mahan lied to you. They told you, okay, to the end of the world is going to happen in 2000, Y2K. In 1989, well, we'll say 1990, you find out that you got 10 more years. So you're going to do every single things that you could have done to eliminate our people. Okay? So when the Mosai came in, he would have not found us because, you know, there is no Mosai. That's what Satan said, you know. And listen to this guy talking, okay?
Those criminals who are heavily armed and who pose a real threat not only to the citizenry but to law enforcement officials. And
now, that's how we were. We were a real threat to the law enforcement and people that look like him. That's what we were. And now, the real threat turned out to be N8. It turned out to be the Q, well, not the Q, it turned out to be Miss Warner. It turned out like Warner, okay, her beautiful self is the number one reason why your officers and first responders are no more. And now look at you. Now look at you. Huh? Now look at me.
the way that he did that was, as he said, in a common sense kind of way. to send a message to the criminal element that if you commit a crime, you're going to get caught, that if you're caught, you're going to be prosecuted, and if that you're prosecuted and convicted, you're going to go to jail. And that requires a broad, comprehensive program of the type that he proposed today.
All this, that's what you guys were doing. You know, that's when you guys were in your blessing, and then you can do all sort of scumbag stuff to our people, and then our people were in crack and stuff like that. That's what you people were doing. And then you're going to come up in our face and say, oh, well, back that, brethren, sistren, during this time, those people weren't alarmed. They were confident. They were well. You didn't see all those people. Well, you didn't get the internet. We had the internet, but it was all luxury. You didn't have all those people making a fuss about it. Like, oh, they're gonna kill all of us. They're gonna all of us. The mark of the beast is for all of us. They are killing all of us. The Georgia Guidestone or whatever the hell they call it. All of us. No. They knew, and they know for a fact, this dude and the government were talking about our people. And our people were so oblivious back then, if I say the word right. They thought they were talking about real criminal, like people that do crime, while they were talking about us in general.
That includes a concern with semi-automatic weapons, includes a great increase in the number of agents who are going to be dealing with those persons who are engaged in these urban terroristic activities.
Exactly, urban terrorist activities, okay? Urbanize the people in the urban, you know, speaking urban, you know, black folks, the Hebrew Israelites, those were our targets. And the people watching this, they understand, could speak. You know, they weren't alarmed. They weren't all about, oh, he's going to come after all of us. The government is going to come after all of us because, you know, they say all urban and stuff. No, you guys were very calm. You were very confident.
As you pointed out, a vast increase in the resources that are available for the prosecution of these cases and for the prison facilities to accommodate them.
More prison.
When you get down to the specific pieces of the action of the package, you find it's all of a piece. The ban that was announced on imported semi-automatic weapons will be made permanent once the study that's being carried out now by the Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms Bureau is completed.
There was a temporary one already.
That's right.
This would make it permanent.
So literally what he said if they caught, okay, he said literal for the people that do not have the eyes to, the ears to hear and understand, the mind to understand. He said, the government come up with a bill to somewhat to ban all foreign firearm, okay, and the one that made in America, they will not be banned. Technically, this is what he said. Spiritually, could speak. This is what he said. If we caught one of those blacks with one of those children of the Lord, children of the Most High, with an automatic weapon or a full auto, he will be arrested. We will take it from him. But from you, American, true-born American, if we caught you shooting up the school or any kind of scumbag stuff, you're not going to be prosecuted. You're free to go. Take your American gun, go over there and shoot them. We'll have nothing to do to you. You will not suffer anything.
Would make it permanent. At the same time, the penalties for the use of any kind of firearm in criminal activity is going to be vastly increased. And those penalties will now mean something because there's no plea bargaining about the case when it comes to trial, and there's a certainty.
For crimes committed where there's guns involved,
yes,
correct?
Exactly. That's the point, that to put some real teeth into laws that are already on the books. And I think that's the frustration that so many of us in law enforcement have had over the years. It's a system, and there are upstream and downstream consequences to changes that are made in every part of that system. Today, the President proposed changes in all parts of the system to make them more effective, to be a deterrent to those who are causing serious crime in this country.
To us, blacks.
But on the semi-automatic weapon thing specifically, the decision to ban imports but to continue to allow the sale of the same weapons made in the United States seems more like a trade decision than a crime decision.
Well, I don't think so. I think what you have here is a recognition that in the United States today you have as many as 20 million quote-unquote semi-automatic weapons in the hands of American citizens. These are used in most cases for law-abiding purposes
Okay.
and the
White folks?
definitional problems of identifying those weapons that are being used
For blacks.
or capable of being used by the criminal element
Exactly.
is simply impossible to solve. What you do have is a discrete, identified group of weapons being now examined by the Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms authorities that are imported into this country that end up disproportionately in the hands of those who are engaged in these types of criminal activities. And as an incremental but very important step to round out a package concerned with violent crime, the President has chosen the option of banning those imports.
Senator Howard Metzenbaum of Ohio issued a statement this afternoon that said that, quote, 75% of all assault weapons on our streets are made in America, end quote.
Checkmate. Checkmate. So you guys are the one dropping that stuff and then and stuff. Well, let's take another 2, or let me see how long we are into this thing. Woo, 25 minutes. Let's take another 5 minutes somewhere, some very interesting thing. I haven't watched it though, but I want to get somewhere that they supposed to talk about crack or sexual whatever stuff. All right, that's like the third part. I believe that's where it began. Let's see what's going on with that. Oops.
Next, a report on sexually transmitted diseases. Although public attention is centered on AIDS, other venereal diseases have also reached near epidemic proportions. They were responsible for the deaths of more than 7,000 people in the United States in 1987. Lee Hochberg of public station KCTS Seattle reports.
It's Wednesday night swimming class for these 4-year-olds, and it's hard to tell who's getting the biggest kick out of the class, the kids or instructor Jody Bartee.
Do you do swimming like this?
Jody's a swimming instructor with the Seattle Parks Department and an actress when she can find a part in Seattle's theaters. She's 37 years old, recently married for the first time.
So if she's alive now, she would have been 69. Okay, she would have been 69. That's a long time ago. Those kids, some of them are no more. I don't know those people, but it's just, wow, it's been 32 years anyway.
Her exuberance is authentic, but it also helps to mask a painful personal secret. Jody Bartee has 2 sexually transmitted diseases. She has herpes, an increasingly common disease known for genital sores and for which there's no cure.
So you got these herpes infested woman in the pool with a bunch of anyway, whatever, man.
And she's been infected by a papillomavirus, a sexually transmitted disease that's so far been asymptomatic, but scientists now strongly believe could precede cervical cancer. Jody is one of 13 million people in this country who are fighting sexually transmitted diseases, or STDs for short. There are 50 different kinds of them spreading through American society, many of them at an epidemic rate. The victims are rich and poor, sexually active and even not so sexually active.
That's a lie. That's a lie. The codes speak rich and poor.
Maybe the swimming teacher at the local pool.
Oral sex, it's still the same. There's a possibility of transmission if she were in the active phase and if there was a direct contact.
The Sexually Transmitted Disease National Hotline in Palo Alto, California. Staffed by volunteers, this nonprofit toll-free information service receives some 80,000 calls a year from across the United States, from people worried that they have contracted an STD.
Penicillin is the drug of choice for that, but it is curable.
We're answering more calls than ever before. People are worried about what they may have done in the past.
You see, I'm gonna let this here, man. You see, the Most High, you have to give the Most High credit, man. You go back 32 years from now, the Most High tell you, hey, you can still see it. All praises, man. All praises, okay? So what happened here in this report, they are very serious, brothers, okay? They are very serious. So what they show you, that teacher or whatever, most likely it's a stage thing. They were saying those things and they were real, brothers. These things were happening to them. But they go and then spread the lies that when they saw this report, they say we are those people that have all those disease, okay, and stuff like that. This is Michael stuff. Let's take 1 minute out of Michael, and then we'll finish with whatever they have.
Past. Some of our callers have somewhat changed their tune a little bit, and they've modified their behavior. Some of them have, but even then, they're still concerned about what they did 5 years ago.
Director Michael Adele says some STDs lie dormant for years after infection before flaring up. He says half the calls these volunteers get are about herpes, but with other diseases now burgeoning out of control.
So herpes, you know what was, people got catch that herpes the most anyway. So all of those they are bringing so they can get to HIV.
Callers
AIDS.
are asking about the whole range of STDs. The Centers for Disease Control says the most common sexually transmitted disease is chlamydia, a urinary tract infection. 4 million cases are reported per year. They're treatable with antibiotics. Gonorrhea is next, with 1.6 million cases expected. Some are treatable with antibiotics, some aren't. Papillomaviruses will be reported 1 million times. They can require surgery. Genital herpes will occur up to 500,000 times. It's uncurable. And syphilis, with 100,000 cases expected, is treatable with antibiotics.
Yeah.
We really live in an undeveloped country when it comes to STD control. What's happened is we have epidemic syphilis, epidemic resistant gonorrhea.
Yeah, so King Holmes. So that's what you guys were doing, and then do the whole thing, the whole experiment on our people. This thing's still going on now, brothers, okay? Still going on now. Let me see what that is.
He doesn't crawl. He doesn't roll over.
Okay.
He has a very hard time with his respiratory system because his
Court for 3 years,
All right.
resigning at the
Let's check
urging of
this one.
President Johnson to become the U.S. ambassador to the United Nations. He was 81 years old.
81.
That's our news summary. Just ahead on the news hour, the Marion Barry case, the debate over publicizing threats to airlines, and a Rosenblatt essay.
All right, this is what news. Oh crap.
We go first tonight to the drug arrest of Washington, D.C. Mayor Marion Barry. As we reported, the mayor was arrested in a joint FBI D.C. police sting operation at a Washington hotel last night. Law enforcement officials said he was videotaped buying and smoking crack cocaine. After an appearance in federal district court today, Mayor Barry and his wife, an attorney, emerged to face a horde of journalists. The mayor and his lawyer had little to say. A few minutes earlier, Barry had been advised of the charges against him and was formally booked in a courthouse cell block.
So this is what they used to do. They used to they will get a brother, okay, that is in a high position, which they they put there and all that, and they are sending a message out there saying whether you are in this position or that position, you will go down. So what they did, they set up, which is entrapment. They set up this brother. They arrest a low-level dealer, and they have him wear all sort of camera and all that, and then go over there and entice the brother, to buy crack, and then film it using this crack in a hotel, okay, somewhere private, in a hotel, doing his thing, and then they're arresting him. Brothers, look at the whole nation. I wasn't born that. I wasn't even aware of that, but you can see, look at the journalists. Look at this.
He was then released, but ordered to return for weekly drug tests. Joining us now for a newsmaker interview is J.B. Stevens, the U.S. attorney in Washington who put together the undercover operation which resulted in Mayor Barry's arrest.
Okay, so those were set up. They will set up our people, and then once something happened, and then they will arrest them and say, okay, well, you were smoking crack. Okay, you committed a crime. And then things like that. So and then they will have Negroes. Okay, they will have those Negroes. I don't know this dude, but I don't like that guy. I don't like this dude. Okay, I saw him in multiple videos, but I don't like that guy. They're gonna talk to him.
And I think in this case, one could make the argument that indeed the whole city has been the victims of drug abuse, as last night's events demonstrated.
Do you think you have a case that's going to stick here?
I think we would not have brought a case that we believed we could not support based on the evidence and the law.
Well, Jay Stevens, we appreciate your being with us.
Thank you very much, Judy.
Okay.
We will talk with a Washington columnist and with our own team of Gergen and Shields about the political fallout from the mayor's arrest. But first, correspondent Kwame Holman has this background report.
Leaving the courthouse after appearing before a judge on cocaine charges this afternoon, Mayor Marion Barry had little to say. But for years, Washingtonians had a lot to say about persistent allegations of cocaine use and the active nightlife of their mayor.
Stand by!
Welcome, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Coach. It's always a pleasure to be with you on Evening Exchange here at the Channel 32.
On Monday night in Los Angeles, comedian Jimmy J.J.
I hate that guy, man. I despise this dude, man. I didn't even watch all this show. I watched a few interviews where he was coping for the white supremacists, blaming our people for drug stuff. I despise it. I don't even know his name, but I wasn't even born that time yet. But so the people that know this guy, maybe you'll like him, but I don't even know his name, but I despise this guy.
Walker at the Comedy Cafe said, I just got back from the city of Washington, and Mayor Marion Barry gave me the kilo to the city.
Okay, so he put the mayor on blast. He's the guy that find dirt on our people and then put it over there and then let the whole world see how dirty our people are.
It got big laughs.
In December 1988, Mayor Barry made several visits to his friend Charles Lewis in a Washington hotel room.
Mr. Lewis, can you tell us what you were doing at the Ramada Inn that night?
Lewis was under police surveillance for
for using a little crack, brothers. For using a little crack. You got the whole squad, journalists asking,
selling cocaine.
you know, look
Lewis
at this.
reportedly admitted smoking crack cocaine with Mayor Barry and passed 2 lie detector tests about that assertion.
Mr. Lewis, did you offer May drugs?
The mayor denied Lewis's charge. Lewis was sentenced to 15 months on his cocaine conviction today. The Lewis incident touched off a storm of press coverage.
A storm of press coverage for something that you set them up, okay? You entrap them, and then you blame them, and the whole world will see this.
Barry to explain and apologize.
At no time did I see any drugs, use any drugs, or have any knowledge of any drugs. Sorry. I apologize to our citizens. I apologize to the country.
Okay, yeah, they break the man. They break you. Okay, that's what you guys were doing to our people. Now, you see they have plenty of those so-called mayors and then politicians. They are dying from the opioid plague. They never bought them and make them apologize like that. They never did. Okay, he was being tough. They say, man, if you don't apologize, if you do apologize, we'll let you go. But if you don't,
for putting our city into this kind of situation.
In an interview with the NewsHour last January and throughout the year, Mayor Barry denied ever using drugs or having a drug problem.
I was apologizing to the public for them feeling embarrassed. The news media had taken this around the world, made Washington look like Sin City.
They did, because our people were, it was known as Chocolate City, because they want to do this. Brothers, okay, so I know, again, I always take a long time to make my point. I even forget what point that I was making. Now, again, the point that I was making, brothers, I will do this a little bit time travel once in a while. The point that I was making, let the people see, to let them know that when it's come to us, when the volcano hit St. Vincent La Soufrière, aka the sulfur volcano, and it was all over the place. It's in everybody's face. Okay, the immigrant, the Haitian immigrant, and they are showing you that those guys are whipping our people with whip, you know, all those things, and showing you so they can feed on that. But again, we don't care. We care about this, what the Most High is doing to you now. We are putting you on blast by the Most High order, okay? All right? Look at this house. Gone. Okay, the house is gone. Look at this. Look at this massive amount of flame. See, this is a pillar of fire. Okay? There you go, man. There you go. All right? The Most High is not playing. Okay, all those beautiful houses being burned down. Okay, a whole house gone. And how long it took this thing? Let's count. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5 seconds. How's that take you years to build? The Mosai bringing it down in like 5 seconds. Okay, and then those people are gonna sit there and saying, "Oh, everything is fine." You know, this it's nothing. It's nothing. See this? You see this, beloved? You see this fire over there? This look the lightning, the fires. This is from the street. All right. All right, man. This magma moves a lot more faster than the regular one that I used to see. All right. Yes, sir. So the Mosai is not playing. Okay, things like that, they will not show it. You see how they keep the people out. You see how they don't show you the people being evacuated. They don't show you they are in panic. When that thing happened in St. Vincent, all they were showing are people panicking and try to flee. They're like, oh, those people in trouble over there. They need to take the vaccine and all that. Okay, they wait until all their people evacuate. Look at those $1 million mansion, man. Okay, this is not a cheap place to live, man. The whole house is on fire. The whole house, brethren, okay, is on fire. Okay, look at this. Look at this. Okay, all those houses are burnt down. Okay, and this thing is powerful, man. It's very strong. Okay, it's very strong. All right, burning all those $1 million houses, all those millionaires and billionaires. I won't be surprised that one of those billionaires had an island over there, had a house over there on the island. Okay, all right, those houses are burned down. Look at this. Okay, the entire houses are gone. Beautiful homes over there, man. Beautiful. Okay, and then they got this home down there. It's all gone. The Mosai literally swept those people off the land. Okay, look at this. And then you're gonna sit there and telling me, oh, don't worry about that. Worry about like the mark of the beast and stuff. Yeah, whatever, man. This look like Abraham Lincoln face. I don't know if I see that right. Yeah, look like, let me see if I can see it. All right. Oh, let me see. Right here. See this? Let me see if I can. You can see this look like Abe Lincoln. See the hair right there, the forehead a little, the nose, and then the beard. Abe Lincoln, and then this is the cheekbone on Abe Lincoln, and then he's looking that way. Oh, it look like an Amish fellow, you know. This is the head. This is the forehead. You can see the eye hole, and then the nose right here, and he's looking that way. And this is the lips, and this is his beard, a white beard, a giant white beard right here. Look like an Amish fellow looking this way. I mean, to me, that's what it is. It looked like he lay on his back, you know, and he's looking that way. Okay, again, this is what, at least that's what I'm seeing. You know, that's the forehead right there. Okay, that's the forehead, and then this is the front of the eye right there. You can see the eye hole, and then the nose going down there and cut to the mouth, so the lips right here. And then this is the white beard. You can see the beard line right here, and the beard go all the way right here to the lips, to the bottom of the chin. Okay, at least that's what I saw. All right, brothers, let us move in. Okay, the face still going on, and then it melted off. All praises to the Most High, man. All right, this is the Most High in the mist, brothers. Michael in the mist. All right, always. Okay. Pillars of fire. Yes. Yes, the pillar of fire. We read that book, the pillar of fire that take us out of Egypt is here. Look like a giant dragon face here. I'm seeing all sort of things. All praises, beloved, all praises. Okay, now you see what the Mosai is doing, and what's this look like a face again, a lips right here, a nose right there, an eye right here, an eye, all praises. So, brethren, let us keep on moving and see what the Mosai having. Then again, all those things are happening because of Genesis 15, verse 13. Okay, we have to understand the 400 years is gone, and those people are being judged. All right. Genesis 15, verse 13, and he said unto Abraham, Abram, know of a surety, know that for sure, know that for certain, this will happen, that thy seed shall be a stranger in a land that is not theirs, and shall serve them, and they shall afflict them 400 years, and also that nation whom they shall serve will I judge. And then the 10 plagues of the apocalypse of Abraham, this is plague number 2, fiery conflagration of the cities, and also plague number 1, sorrow, and then the earthquake and all that crazy. Let us move in, brothers.
Over the weekend, several Hispanic day laborers were victims of what police called premeditated and vicious hate crimes.
They were lured to fake job sites and attacked. CBS 2's Jennifer McLogan has a story from Farmingville, Long Island.
Day laborers say they often hide in the shadows waiting to be hired in the trust of total strangers.
He went by the dead end of the street, and he he hold the neck and punch it a couple times, and my brother tried to to lose it up and run away.
Run away from this alleged perpetrator of hate crimes. Police say Christopher Chella of Selden lured 3 older Hispanic men into coming with him at separate times and then attacked 2 of them. The victims were standing at the 7-Eleven in Farmingville and down the road at La Placita when they were transported near a condo complex and construction site where cameras were rolling. They were beaten and choked. These are their friends and relatives.
We're coming for looking for work.
And now with this, are you scared?
Yeah, we're scared. We never know, like, anybody coming to again.
Chella was charged with hate crimes, harassment, unlawful imprisonment. He lives with his family, who appeared tearful in court.
I don't know what came over him to do it. It's not him.
It's a demon. Daniel Fanuel. Fanuel is Uriel. Is that what that is? Fanuel is Uriel. I'm not quite sure. Let me see. Archangel Fanuel. No, that's not. Okay, yeah. Okay, Fanuel is the name given to the 4th angel who stand before God in the book of Enoch. Okay. Yes, it's Uriel. Okay. Michael, Raphael, Gabriel, it's Uriel, Fanuel. You can't make this up. Okay. Fanuel. That's Daniel and Archangel Uriel. All praises to the Most High. Yes. Oh, all praises. You can't make this up, brothers. What are the odds? Give the Most High praises and glory, man. Let me drink a little water right here, man. Man, all praises, man. This is beautiful. Yeah. You can't make this up. You can't make this up. The dude, brother, name is Daniel Fanuele or Fanuel. Okay, Fanuel is Uriel, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, the angel of repentance and hope. You didn't repent. Archangel Fanuel is known as the angel of repentance and hope. He encourages people to repent and pursue eternal relationship with God. Repentance and hope mean to purify. That is why we say the Archangel Uriel to purify our heart. Okay. Yeah. All right. Hang on. Okay. So it's Michael, Raphael, Gabriel, and Uriel, the 4 main archangel. Okay, Fanuel is another name. Let me see. Google may not have this, but it's in the book. I read it somewhere in one of the many books that I'm reading. Is the Archangel Phanuel Uriel? He won't get it. You see? Yu-Gi-Oh scumbag stuff. Anyway, let us keep on moving, brothers.
And you said that he could be suffering from some mental health issues?
Yes, he is.
No, he's not. He's not. This guy is a demon. He's just hate people, and he's going after those fellow, and then he will offer them job, and then they will get there, and then will beat the crap out of them, and then run. All praises to the Most High, man. You can't make this up, man.
Now he's on drugs that are not prescribed for him.
His family calls the behavior out of character.
I hope the court sees that he needs help more than incarceration.
Areas of Suffolk County.
There you go.
There's been a history.
And you got Christopher here.
There's been areas of Suffolk.
Okay, you got Christopher Columbus here. Christ offer. Christ topper. Seller. You Woo! You can't make this up. The dude name is literally Christopher Seller. Silla. So be it. In the name of the Most High. And Siswatiel. When we pray, we say all praises to the Most High. Seller. You know, Christopher. Amen. So be it. It is what it is. That's what it is. By the will of the Most High. Seller. His will. Well, of course, it's written in C-E-L-A-A. But you can't make those things up, brothers. You can't. Those are the angels reporting back onto us and telling us they are working on our behalf for the Most High. Give the Most High praises and glory, brothers and sisters. You can't make this up. Christ Seller. Okay? Christ, Hosanna, the leader, the savior, okay? So be it. All praises.
Areas of Suffolk County, there's been a history of targeted violence towards immigrants, towards Latinos.
We were here in September of the year 2000.
Okay, this guy is what you're calling a Latino Hispanic fellow. So he just attacking his own people and beating the crap out of them. Okay? All right. Wait a minute. Christopher Seller? Which one? The father also name is Christopher Seller? Also, is that what that is? Let me see. Because they say Christopher Seller accused of luring, attacking Hispanic day laborers on Long Island. Oh, let me see.
His family calls the behavior out of character.
I hope the court sees that he needs help more than incarceration.
Oh, Christopher Seller, suspect father. Okay, this is not the father. The dude name, I didn't even catch that. The dude name is Christopher, Christ offer, Tapper, Seller. So Christ was holding Christ was luring people, choking them and beat the crap out of them. Wow, spiritually, oh man, Christopher Seller. All praises, man. That's what Christ was doing? Okay, all right. At least, hey man, that's what I'm getting. Anyway, you can get something else from that. Okay?
Areas of Suffolk County, there's been a history of targeted violence towards immigrants, towards Latinos.
We were here in September of the year 2000 when two men posing as contractors promised work to two Hispanic day laborers, drove them to a warehouse about a mile from here, and savagely beat them with a crowbar and 2x4. Suffolk legislator Sam Gonzalez says protection is needed.
A trailer there where those that are needing day laborers can go there, put a report down so they know that.
Again, we keep seeing the name of our people, man. Samuel, okay?
These are the guys that are legit.
Police urge any other possible victims to come forward. From Suffolk County, Jennifer McLogan, CBS 2 News.
A judge has placed Christopher Cella on supervised release with GPS monitoring until his next court date.
All praises to the Most High. And crazy things are happening out there, brethren. Crazy, crazy things. Certain things like, yo, why? This is weird, but we always, let me see. We always find a way. The Most High always puts something in there for us. All right.
Well, it is time now for our tropical update. And Luke is standing by, and we are just going right through all those names so quickly.
Yeah, we are. We had 2 tropical storms form on us this weekend and take 2 additional names. We'll start here with Peter, as it's north of the eastern Caribbean islands, north of the Virgin Islands, 50-mile-per-hour tropical storm. You'll notice, though, it's lopsided. Upper-level winds are tilting it over, so all the stormy weather and the tropical storm force winds are just on one side of that storm, and those upper-level winds are going to continue to chip away at it and weaken it. So by the time we're into Wednesday and Thursday, it's down to a depression, though it may pop back up to a tropical storm by this weekend. It stays north of the Caribbean islands, stays well away from South Florida. Bermuda will want to keep an eye on it, but really not a very impactful looking storm. Here's another one that we saw form this weekend. Tropical Storm Rose. It's for the fish. It's headed out to sea as a low to mid-grade tropical storm. Elsewhere, a couple of disturbances that we're watching. We're not going to worry about this one way up here in the North Atlantic. No issue there. But one that's coming off of it's off Africa now. This is a disturbance that we'll be tracking throughout this week. Pretty good chance that this becomes a depression or storm as it moves across the Atlantic. We have all week long, in fact, into the weekend, to see how this wants to behave. But it'll probably become the next named storm, which is Sam. That's the next one on the list. But you see, we're running out of names here. We're like...
So far, this is how many hurricane they have, okay? The hurricane season is not even done yet, and they're already almost running out of name. This is how many hurricane that they have. You didn't hear anything about some of them. Anna, Bill, Claudette, Danny, Elsa, Fred, Grace, Henry, definitely Ida, Julianne, Kate, Larry, Mandy, Nicholas, Odette, Peter, Rose, Sam, Teresa, Victor, and Wanda. They already got Sam right there. So ST, where's you? Isn't this supposed to be STUV, W, X, Y, and Z? Anyway, that's not the point. The thing is, like, they're already an S, and they will have like couple others, then they will run out of the 26 or whatever letter or alphabet they have there, and then they will move to the Greek names. Okay, they're already out. Okay, I don't know about you. I didn't heard about Anna nor Bill. I did heard about Claudette, not Danny. I heard about Elsa, not Fred, but I heard about Grace, Henry, Ida, not Julianne, Kate, definitely Larry, not about Mandy. I heard about Nicholas. Odette did not, Peter, I did not, Rose, I didn't, most likely you do. And then now they got Sam, and after that they will got Teresa, and then they will got Victor, Michael, aka Michael, and then Wanda, and then whatever the rest that they have. So yeah, they're almost running out, man. And the hurricane season will be December 1st, will be finished, Robin. Well, let me see. I don't want to say things here, brothers. Let us see what's going on. When is hurricane season started and ended?
Here's a summary from ServiceMaster Restore. The Atlantic hurricane season officially starts on June 1st.
Okay, and then it will run until until November the 31st. So we can say June 1st to December 1st. So we still got the rest of September, okay, and we got October, and we got November. We got 2 more months, to go, and then to see what's going on. What's gonna happen in 2 more months. It's all depend on the Most High will and his plan. Okay,
they have to get into the reserve list. There's a pretty good bet that we'll have to switch over to that for the 2nd year in a row, though this year it's not the Greek alphabet. All right, so here's radar. Most of us are dry, but it's a close call. Look at this line of storms right on the west coast, or west side of the metro rather. So we'll be watching to see how these behave through the rest of the day.
All right, all praises to the Most High, man. Let us keep on moving, brethren. How long we are into this? All right then.
Miami. 2 people shot near Bayside Marketplace. Local 10's Terrell Forney just arrived on the scene. And Terrell, what do you know so far?
a very big scene which has a portion of Biscayne Boulevard shut down tonight. In fact, the northbound lanes of Biscayne now shut down because police are here on the north side of FTX Arena and just down the way on the south side of the arena near Bayside Marketplace. A lot of police activity there as well. But let's go to these videos because people who live in nearby high-rises, they have been sending us videos of all of the police activity.
Yeah.
Detectives telling Local
cool.
10 tonight that the shooting around 6th Street in Biscayne, that is what happened and that is what drove them here. 2 people were hit and rushed to the hospital with very serious injuries. Another piece of video shows more officers arriving to the scene. At some point, officers then converged on the area of 8th Street and Biscayne.
Now, let me tell you something, okay, what those people are not saying here. You see, when the problem happened in our area, when an area, you know, our people frequent or they live there, this is the report. Yeah, we've been having so many shootings in this area, which is prone to violence and drug dealing and stuff like that, and shooting. The area is mostly minority and all that crap and all that nonsense. Now, as you can see, this video is filmed from a higher place. Look at the buildings around it. This is not any type of area. Okay, this person is probably in the 20th or 40th floor. Okay, so this is an upscale area. Okay, upscale. Who is at D-AA? Boy, I don't want to watch. I don't want to see it at day dash. Is that what that is? Let me see. Dash AA. Don't give me anything cowboy related, man, because last time I had the surprise of my life. Okay, let me see Instagram photos. Oh, please don't. Oh, all right. Oof. No, wait, no, this is D.A. No, that's like fake stuff that has like 1,500 followers, 400. No, this is fake. That's not what I'm looking for. They are marketing Urban Dictionary. Okay, it could be Twitter. No, it's not what that is. That's not what that is. Nah, that's not what that is. They are Al-Sham lawyer, District Columbia, USA. Nah. Yeah, so well, probably it's not a Twitter name, it's just some regular name that person sent. But they live, you can see this is that's a pool right there, okay? Our people don't live in upscale neighborhood and then there's a pool in the 5th floor or a pool in the 10th, 12th floor. Okay, there's a pool here. This is a beautiful neighborhood. Yet what they are seeing, shooting, all sort of nonsense going on over there.
And rushed to the hospital with very serious injuries. Another piece of video shows more often.
Okay, so this is plague number 5 right here. Destruction by the sword. So those people are seeing the violence is also getting in the neighborhood too. All praises to the Most High.
Gabby Petito seemed to be enjoying van life with her fiance before she disappeared. Van life may look like fun, but don't kid yourself. It comes with challenges.
We've just been fighting all morning and...
Gabby and her fiance Brian Laundrie were 2 months into their cross-country adventure when they got into an altercation outside Arches National Park in Utah.
You want to tell me about those scratches on your face?
Gabby said she was afraid Brian was going to drive off and leave her stranded at a grocery store. She scratched him during a back-and-forth scuffle.
I just quit my job to travel across the country, and I'm trying to start a blog.
All right, let me explain this to you. Let me tell you something that I learned from our beloved separate and set apart sister, Lisa Cabrera, which is very dear unto me. The sister mean a lot to me. I always pray and tell the Most High thank you for bringing this beloved sister in my life, because back in 2014 when I was following her first channel, 2014, 2015, those channels, they took them down, and she had a way older channel, and she was bringing news. What she's bringing now is nothing new, and it is just those people being buried them. And many of those sister videos, and she mentioned about relationship between, well, I'll call them the heathens, because truthfully there's no such thing as a Gentiles. Okay, Gentiles is just a Hebrew that went way too far and then he come back all effed up in the head, so they call them Gentiles. But originally those people are heathens. Okay, so when you see the heathens, and this is what they portray unto you: perfection. They portray a life of being all happy all the time. They portray a life being easy going. Everybody can do it too, because they are and were under the blessing. Everything come easy to them. When they see that garbage online, the social media stuff and all the van life, which is all garbage anyway, and I see a single black woman was doing this stuff and she quit, because you are a single woman and then you are uploading photos of you living in a van by yourself, going across country. And she's been having a hell of a lot of issue of people tracking her down, and it is something to that effect. Somebody been sending picture of her where she keep parking. They've been following her, and some very graphic stuff was sent onto her, and she quit this life. You see, those people, like the sister Bort in her video, they are spending a hell of a lot of time together, and they are because of the whole pandemic things, and they are finding out how much they hate each other. You see, our people, us, we've been quarantined for over 400 years, and we still are. You see, we've been living with our people for a long time. We've been going through this type of nonsense. They haven't. When something like that happened in those families, they got the money. When they got children, they all effed up in the head. They don't sit down and talk to them. They said, go to the psychiatrist. Let me send you to the psychiatrist. Here's money. Go. They always pay somebody else to deal with the problem. You see, as a parent, you are by far the best psychiatry your children can afford. You know why? You learn psychology from the man himself, the Most High. When your children have a problem, you shouldn't be paying people to find a way to resolve the problem for your child. You should sit down there with your little children and talk to them and ask them, surrender them unto the Most High. You are their psychiatrist. Your children should have never go around and then pay people to make them feel good, or some sort of, oh, you got some blockage, some sort of backward science they are using. Those people, they like to come in front of you and show that they're always happy, and even in the commercial, the movies, the TV shows, online. Hey guys, I'm doing so much better. I make so much money and stuff. They never brought to you their depression. They never brought to you, I'm having problem with my boyfriend. I'm having problem with my husband. I'm having problem with my wife. I'm having problem with my girlfriend. I'm having problem with home. I'm just sad. I don't know why. And if it wasn't for you guys, I would have off myself. All those things those people are doing, brothers, it's all fake, like the rapture. All praises. Watch them.
Okay. So I've been building my website. So I've just been really stressed.
So she quit her job and then do event life so they can make money. You know, they were doing this for money, not because they love it. They were doing this for money. Okay. Do you know how hard it is to travel across country? Ask any truck driver, which is all they live the real van life. Any truck drivers that drove over the world, it's not fun, man. It's not as fun you think that thing is, man. You know, you locked up in a freaking truck, You know, driving from places, truck stop to truck stop, you know, and you gotta take, well, if you don't have a love card, mostly I really love, you know, to take free shower with the gas, you have to pay for shower. Freaking food over the road are very expensive, and they are nothing but trash anyway. They are not that nutritious, but you have no choice. That's what you've been doing. And then you really don't want to do anything like fasting while you're driving a freaking truck for 40 days without eating anything. You probably have a, you know, I don't want to say you got like a little dizziness and all that. This is not a fun thing to do, man. It's because our truck drivers out there, they obligated, they have to do this. But the Most High will rescue them. This thing is not a fun thing. You know, those people are always making things so easy going, and then now they lost the blessing and they start saying, I hate my boyfriend. I hate my wife. I hate this. I hate you. Now I've been around with you and I see how you chew your food, how you sleep, how you do things. I hate you. I don't. You driving in a van, there is no toilet. Enough said here.
Van life is not for everyone, say Emily Schroeder and Jake Junda. Like Gabby, they have been documenting their adventures.
See how those people are faking everything, and they look just like the Gabriel and that dirty laundry fellow. So those people are always like smiling and laughing, and you can see this dude is not too happy with this. He's not too happy.
Adventures in a converted van on their YouTube page, Two Roaming Souls.
You're living in such a small space. How do you handle
fake again? This is all fake. The background, that guy's in the studio. It's all fake.
Apologize quickly.
They say it's crucial to schedule alone time.
We have noise canceling headphones, which I also recommend. That's how we get like our alone time.
Emily and Jake acknowledge that sharing a 60 square foot box can be difficult. So exploring the outdoors.
This is the garbage. I despise when those people are doing this type of garbage, man. Yo, you have no idea how I despise. Hiking supposed to be something that you hike because you want to see the nature beautiful. You want to see certain things. You're not going freaking hiking a camera in your face. Look, guys, I'm hiking. Like, look at me hiking. Hey guys, subscribe. You know, likes and share because I'm gonna hike. All this scumbag stuff, man, you know, and yeah, whatever, man.
Course is also key, but their number one tip,
and that's just communicate.
It's all worth it.
Okay, don't be surprised that you saw them in the next news. Get out of here, man. All praises to the Most High. Let us move in, man. We don't know what happened to this woman, but we know that dirty laundry fellow took her out.
New COVID-19 rules for child care workers in New Jersey and the children they care for. The governor signed an executive order ordering those workers to get vaccinated or be regularly tested.
First, the order requires that all child care workers and facility employees be fully vaccinated by November 1st or face regular and weekly testing.
What is this? No, it should be to get the cure or be killed. Because that's what it says in the book. Take my mark or die. Not like be tested or have some type of exemption, which is over 600,000 U.S. Post Office workers are exempt from this thing. We got sisters that were working in a healthcare system. They are exempt from this. What is this? What is it that you Christian try to prove here? How you exempt from this thing? How is this the mark of the beast when you exempt from it? What is this? Huh? You guys are trying to save your own ASS.
The order also clarifies that the masking policies in all child care facilities must mirror those in schools. As recommended by the CDC, all employees, all students and children in a facility's care ages 2 and over, and all visitors must wear face masks.
The governor said that child care workers need to get their second dose by October 17th to meet the November 1st deadline.
Now to some breaking news.
All praises, whatever, man. You people are desperate.
Now to some breaking news. Houston police say a man has died after someone shot him while he was driving on the West Park Tollway tonight. It happened near Fondren around 8 o'clock this evening. So far, no word if this was road rage. We'll be sure to keep you posted.
Okay. So probably tomorrow, well, they'll have an update. So people are getting shot all the time in the highway, and then they see an increase in that.
Of his life to serving the city of Houston was gunned down by a man with a lengthy criminal history.
The wife of Officer William Bill Jeffrey told Mayor Sylvester Turner that Houston truly lost the very best. Investigators say that officer was gunned down at the hands of this man, Dion Ledette, a man wanted on narcotics warrants with a lengthy criminal history, and as we have covered today, a man who could have been behind bars.
We have live team coverage for you tonight of today's fast-moving developments. We begin with our Brandon Walker live in Northeast Houston and the scene of today's shooting. Brandon?
A very sad day here today, Chris. This scene now in its 9th hour, approaching hour 10. The apartment just on the other side there, where neighbors this morning heard gunshots, one of them ducking for cover.
We couldn't do nothing.
Lynn Turner says all she could do was duck. The window shattered by bullet steps from her home, a visual of what she was up against minutes before 7:30.
I was getting ready for work, and when I came out, it was a lady running with a baby.
The woman, Houston police say, initially answered the door when officers arrived. They came to serve an arrest warrant for a man identified by relatives as Dion Ledette.
They knocked on the door. Female comes to the door, have a conversation with her, asks where's the suspect. The suspects one suspect immediately came out and fired upon our officer.
Senior police officer William Bill Jeffrey was shot several times, didn't make it. Sergeant Michael Vance was shot too. He is in stable condition tonight. Ledette was killed as well, a matter Chief Finner says didn't have to happen.
You got a suspect with a female girlfriend with small kids in that apartment complex, and he still fired upon our officers.
It's a sad situation.
Monica Scott says she saw as officers pulled up.
As I was leaving out taking my son, I seen them outside. One was parked there, one was outside at their back door.
Didn't take long for word to spread.
It was a lot of shots.
It's just a bad situation that happened. I just feel bad for the people.
Especially bad for those who saw. Lynn Turner has had to make peace with that.
It was overwhelming. It was too much, and it was a lot of kids out here.
Yeah, so as you can see, the system, those people designed the system, and they have a lot of people that look like us, and they have lengthy quote-unquote criminal rap sheets, and those people, they release them in our abodes to cause us trouble, to infect our people, and then now it's coming and biting him in the butt. So the most I use this fellow, which we will, for lack of better term, say a 2/3, take this guy out, both of them, taking trash out. Okay, so the sword is heavy. Okay, this is plague number 9. Destruction, execution by the sword, and also number 5, destruction by the sword, since one of the cop went to the hospital. All praises to the Most High.
Are investigating a triple shooting.
At this hour, there's some confusion as to who did the actual shooting and what led up to that. The investigation underway right now at Hickok Lane and Scott Street. KPRC 2's Brittany Jeffers is live there now with what investigators are saying. Brittany, good morning.
Hey, good morning. Certainly a lot to piece together. As you mentioned, 3 people injured. We just found out from investigators they are expected to be okay. But I want to draw your attention here to this vehicle that's in the parking lot. Now, investigators say that around 1 o'clock this morning, that is where they found the driver who'd been shot in the arm, and the passenger had gunshot wounds to his hip. Now, however, this video that you're looking at right now, that is where the two say that the shooting happened. This is about a mile away at 3800 Hickok. The two told police that they were waiting for a friend when someone with a mask started firing at them. Shortly after this call, HPD says there was a report of a 3rd victim.
We had another call at 1:56 at 4138 Fire Point, where a male was shot multiple times, one in the neck and up in the upper torso. So the description he gave of the drive-by shooters was the same of this vehicle. That's how we know both scenes are related.
So the sword is heavy, a lot of shooting. I don't know what the hell is going on in Houston, man. Like, yo, if we have people down there in Houston, what's going on down there, man? Houston's being off the meter, man. Houston is off the chart. All praises, man.
Police need your help finding a missing teenager tonight. Here is 13-year-old Victoria Gonzalez. She was last seen on Friday wearing a white shirt, burgundy sweater, and black.
Again, now you keep seeing this name, Victor Hugo. That guy named the guy that St. Pete that got killed. They knock his ass with a trash lid in his head. His name was Victor Hugo, Victoria. The Most High is telling us, victory.
Pants and leaving New Renaissance Middle School. We spoke with her parents tonight.
The worst parents' nightmare of not knowing, you know, especially nights, you know, who is she with? Is she safe? You know, is she okay?
It's hard to even eat because you're wondering, what is your daughter eating? It's hard to sleep because you're wondering where she's sleeping. It's a tough feeling. It hurts the stomach.
Here is another look at Victoria tonight. Again, she was last seen Friday leaving New Renaissance Middle School in Miramar. Police say she could be in the Miami Gardens, North Miami, or Opa-locka.
Yeah, so all praises, man. Victoria, thank you for bringing this onto the Most High children. All praises to the Most High.
EMS workers have a tough job, even more so during the pandemic, so they deserve to blow off a little steam any way they can. In New Jersey, that meant a little outdoor dancing, I guess, to Michael Jackson's Billie Jean. The scene taking place outside the Robert Wood Johnson University Hospital in New Brunswick on Sunday. Everybody just...
All praises to the Most High, okay? I don't know why this happened, but we've been watching the news. We know you people are trying to hide that pain, and we can see it, okay? I mean, you know, the number of this fan is 214 anyway, so do your thing.
Now, 6 people shot in the city's Olney section. Chopper 3 is live over the scene. The gunfire was not far from 2 high schools, and we've just learned that this shooting has turned deadly. Hello, everyone. I'm Yuki Washington.
And I'm Jessica Cartalia. The first reports of this mass shooting came within the past 2 hours. The scene, Broad and Chew Streets in the city's Olney neighborhood. Central High and Girls High are just down the road. Natasha Brown rushed to the scene. Natasha, what can you tell us?
Really, Natasha?
Well, we can tell you right now that this is still a very active police investigation that is playing.
Good evening, and it's great to have you with us as we start another week.
Anyway,
now, 6 people shot in the
those
city's
people are
Olney
very
section.
unprofessional, man. They are very unprofessional. So, all right. Natasha Brown, what are you doing on your phone? They've been trying to tell her, but 1 dead, 5 others injured in drive-by shooting Philadelphia.
Natasha Brown rushed to the scene. Natasha, what can you tell us?
Natasha.
Well, we can tell you right now.
And then they caught it right here. And I don't know, man. And people are dying and stuff. What? Oh, Philadelphia, man. What's going on over there in Philly, man? The 2/3 are acting of all praises. Plague number 1, plague number 5, and number 9, execution and destruction by the sword.
For children does in fact show the Pfizer.
Okay, listen to this rubbish.
Good evening, and it's great to have you with us as we start another week together here. And we begin tonight with several major headlines on the coronavirus. First, the news millions of parents have been waiting to hear. Pfizer now tonight reporting the trial of their vaccine for children does in fact show the Pfizer shot for children is safe and effective, in their words.
Whatever, Pinocchio.
And also breaking right now, you're looking live at firefighters getting the upper hand on a large house fire in South Philadelphia. The fire broke out in the row home on the 1600 block of South 5th Street just before 5 o'clock. This is what it looked like just a few minutes ago as the flames erupted from the roof. Now firefighters are trying to stop that fire from spreading to nearby homes. We will keep following this story and bring you more information on television and online at cbsphilly.com.
Plague number 2, fiery conflagration of the city. All praises to the Most High. Let us keep on moving.
All right, Kelly, thank you. Well, a college professor faces felony hate crime charges. Alberto Friedman is accused of yelling racial slurs at an African-American woman parked outside a Jewel in Oak Park. This happened earlier this month.
He was spitting at her. Prosecutors say he also crashed into her car twice. They say Friedman admitted to the attack, but his attorney denies that he used racial slurs. He's free after posting bond. Friedman teaches at National University of Health Sciences in Lombard.
Health sciences. Whatever. Those people are losing their freaking mind, man.
All right, we're tracking some breaking news right now. A shooting near a McDonald's. That's your scene right now. Roosevelt and Kedzie. Skycam is above that scene. We have a reporter on the way there. We are told the victim is a female juvenile shot in the leg. We will have an update as soon as it becomes available.
Suzanne, the search continues for the person who shot. Suzanne, the search continues for the person who shot.
You see, brothers, so many sword, man.
And killed a man with a baby inside a car in Riverside. The driver of a silver sedan was killed in broad daylight yesterday. It happened in Tyler in Arlington just before noon. Police say the baby was not hurt and is now in the care of a relative. Investigators are trying to find witnesses to help them track down the suspect.
Scared, sad because I have a baby, so it's not good for me. Because I have a little kid.
Now, at this point, investigators are still trying to find out why the man was shot. If you have any information or if you were in that area at the time of this incident, contact police.
All praises, man. There are so many going on. This happened in LA. So many things, brothers. It's just unbearable.
Following breaking news in Hollywood where deadly shooting is under investigation. This is a look at the scene on Sunset Boulevard near Gordon Street. Police responded to the area after someone reported hearing shots fired. That's when they found an unresponsive man in a car in a parking lot. He had been shot in the chest and was pronounced dead at the scene there. Sunset Boulevard is closed between Bronson and Gordon in both directions as the investigation continues.
Now, as we've been reporting, Nicholas threatens to bring
plague number 5 and 9 still going on, brothers, non-stop. The sword is left, right, up and down and all around. The Most High is in the midst. All right, let us watch how long we are into this thing. Ooh.
Even more destruction to the Gulf Coast, including Louisiana, where many people are still reeling from Hurricane Ida. CBS Morning's lead national correspondent David Begnaud was recently in the state. David, good morning.
Hard to believe, good morning, that they're facing another flooding threat when that area is still underwater, flooded with water and mud from Ida 2 weeks ago. We were there just last week, and we saw that hurricanes affect not only the living, but the dead, too.
High above Barataria, Louisiana, on private property, surrounded by floodwater and just...
Okay, look at that. I want you to look at the houses, brothers. Look at those beautiful homes, man. Look at this, okay? And then, again, let's read. Ida displaced hundreds of graves in Louisiana. Okay, the Most High said in the book of Enoch, you wicked will have no peace. Watch the houses, man. Watch the people.
Affect not only the living, but the dead, too.
High above Barataria, Louisiana, on private property, surrounded by floodwater and just beyond a pile of trash, was a coffin that had floated away during Hurricane Ida.
Do you know what that is? Do you know the ultimate disrespect the Most High show here, man? Even in your place, what you call rest in peace, your place of rest, the Most High did this to you, man. This is the ultimate disrespect. The Most High torment you and your quote-unquote you claim rest. All praises, man. Only our God can do this, man. Nobody else. And this is not staged. This is real.
It was found in the woods. The graveyard where it had floated from was just 300 yards away, and it was underwater. We spotted a nameplate, Esther Morton. I Googled the name, found the obituary, and reached one of her daughters, who told us that Mrs. Morton, who was a custodian at the local high school for more than 30 years, had been buried here 8 years ago.
Oh, my Lord. Oh, my Lord. You get the vibe. You get the vibe. Oh my Lord. All right, you're starting to get some vibe here. Okay?
It's been a while. Since 2013.
That was the last time Troy Harvey saw his grandmother's casket, when he helped to carry it at her funeral.
I don't know how we're supposed to get the casket back into its place, but I'm sure they're not comfortable having it sitting on their front lawn either. Oh, Jesus.
So you see where this is going. You see what the Most High is doing here, man. You start feeling the vibe. Certain people, they look like you, but they're not worshiping the same God as you worship. Especially their people. The Most High, this is the ultimate disrespect right there. You will not rest in peace. So you thought like, oh, okay, I had a good job. I've been doing this, been doing that and stuff. Oh, so you that's why we told our people, this is very serious, brothers. When you go, you worship another God and you never repent. Even in your death, you will not find peace. The Most High will torment you. And this is the ultimate disrespect right here. And then again, brothers and sisters, there are many of those things, those coughing all over. They choose somebody that look like us and trying to trick us like, oh, we all the same. We all, this is the ultimate disrespect. And then you see what God, this fellow, call. And then again, if somebody look like us, make it very emotional. Watch this.
Into its place, but I'm sure they're not comfortable having it sitting on their front lawn either. Oh, Jesus. Well, so much.
It is estimated that between 30 and 50 caskets were displaced due to Hurricane Ida's storm surge.
Okay, so those caskets were displaced, but you find that person that look like us to make us feel like, oh, look at this, you guys are catching so much hell. No, we don't. We know those people that are catching hell, or a hell of a lot of more Christians are being disturbed. Now, let me tell you something, okay? Pay attention, brothers. You see, it will take. Do you know how long? Do you know how heavy those things are? Do you know how well they are built? Do you know how well they are, quote unquote, cemented, or for lack of a better term, welded? Do you know how well they are sealed? Do you know how well they are well made? It will take a massive amount of strength of water to bring those, to even move those things, okay? What I mean by that, the water that came from the cloud did not do this. This water could not done this because the water was coming from up. If it fell on those things, it would have just, even if the water was like fill this thing all the way up, it would not even be able. It wouldn't be able to move it. That means that water come from somewhere with such a force, with such a strength that it push and pull those things, and then to a fact, brothers, it brought a coffin, you know, all the way to that place. And this cemetery is not close to this place. Okay, he brought a body all the way to that place, brothers. Do you know what that means? You know what kind of strength you would need to lift this, okay?
That's according to Ryan Seidemann, who flew over portions of southeastern Louisiana looking for coffins that got away. Seidemann is chairman of Louisiana's Cemetery Response Task Force.
Why do coffins pop up from the ground in Louisiana?
These concrete burial vaults that are put on the ground, directly on the ground, or partially in the ground. They tend to be buoyant air pockets in.
That's not what that is. What the Most High is telling you, those people were buried underground. That means the water came from underground and popped those things out. The water cannot fall onto the earth and dig it out. It has to come from at the bottom, and then it break the boom tube, the fountain of the earth, the fountain of the deep, break, the water came out. That's what that is. When the people in Katrina told you they heard a boom, boom, the water come out. The people in Reveille Hills say they hear a boom. Next thing you know, giant wave. It did not. The Most High break the. When they say the Most High break the fountain of the deep, that means the water came from under and above. It opened a portal, a boom tube, and then boom. Okay, for those of you, I keep talking about boom tube, but let me see if I can find. YouTube gonna give me a lot of crap for this, but yes. DC boom tube. All right. Is that Seven Wolf? Zack Snyder or which one of them? Okay, this is our story. Let me see if they're gonna show it. Let me see. Okay, you see what they are behind them? That's a boom tube. Okay. All right, you see this? This is a portal. And then this is a version of the Most High you're going to see here. This guy, his name is Darkseid. You know, he's a version of the Most High. So again, Darkseid, and then Granny Goodness, okay, which is a form of the Holy Spirit. And then not this side, but Kalibak is a version of YAHAWAH. Kalibak is like way too no, Orion. Orion is a version of YAHAWAH. Okay, Kalibak DC.
According to DC Database, Fandom, Kalibak became a legendary warrior and often serves as Darkseid's second in command.
Okay, second in command from the Most High. This guy is horrible. Kalibak is horrible. Kalibak is horrible. Oh man, this guy, he's like Kalibak is like a giant freaking beast. He has no, Kalibak has like no intelligence. All he know is just like killing and stuff. He actually killed both Superman. Again, this is me watching so many crap, and then sometimes I feel like I gotta bring them onto you. Okay, so this is Darkseid, aka this is Granny Goodness here. When you watch those things, you can make the connection. Granny Goodness. Okay, so this is Granny Goodness, aka the version of the unholy spirit. Okay, she's very, very bad, man. Okay, that's the Holy Spirit, the unholy spirit with the staff. This is like the negative version of the Most High. Granny Goodness is horrible. She's a trainer. Okay, they carry the one. Okay, right here they showed you she carried the staff, but our women, she was a judge. Okay, a horrible judge. Okay, and she carried the one. So does Big Barda, aka Deborah. Okay, she actually trained Big Barda, Deborah. Okay, this thing, man, Granny Goodness, she's like a trainer. She mold and terrifying children and mold them. Oh man, Granny Goodness is horrible. Okay, she is very, very bad. Okay, she carried this one. She's terrifying children, boy. And this is the side right here. Let me see. Okay, through the boom tube to the portal, they could see Darkseid. You know. Okay, see Cyborg opening the portal. Okay, stabilize. Again, all of those things are our story. This is what happened. Okay, this is Naphtali right here. You see? That's Naphtali. The Flash, aka Naphtali. Or Naphtali. You can see through the portal. Okay, so yeah, so DC animated series Boom Tube. Ah, crap, not this. Justice League Boom Tube. Okay, not this one. All right. Okay, there you go. Probably this one is the best version. Okay.
Sensors are picking up a powerful energy surge. but I've never seen a signature like this. I have. It's a boom tube.
There you go. You hear that? Okay, and then it opened, and then dark side came out. Hello, Kryptonian. Yeah, that's that.
We meet again, Kal-El.
Dark side. So, listen to what Batman said.
Sensors are picking up a powerful energy surge.
I've
never seen a signature like this.
I do.
I have. It's a boom tube.
Why? Because he's a Kryptonian. Okay, all of those things are our stories, swagger jacking and stuff. You heard the boom? Boom. All right. Giant boom. Boom tube. That's what that is. Okay, and then Darkseid can invade the Earth.
Okay, back off. I get the point. Smokes.
Okay, this guy.
Piece of me, come on.
Yeah. It's Caliban. That's Caliban versus Superman. Anyway, man, enough of this garbage. So let's go over there and then telling you what that is. When the people heard, like, they heard a giant boom, and then the water come out of nowhere, and then it just push up all those things underground. That's not what that is. That guy trying to say, oh, they got pocket hair and stuff like that. Get out of here, man.
Floodwaters, and they want to float. And so if those waters come in and rock them back and forth enough, they'll just come up and travel with the floodwaters.
Yeah, whatever.
Let's see about getting it back in the ground as soon as possible. If there's anybody that can help us with this, it would be gladly appreciated.
Troy Harvey did not have to look far to find that help.
Hate to see my grandmother imposing on y'all, bro.
That's sad, huh?
That's the way it goes down here on the body, bro.
That's it, bro. It's all good.
It's all good, brother. I mean, as soon as the ground can get dried out, bro, we can put it back in.
I got a trailer, man. We will take her and put it to rest.
All right. Show you we are the savior. We will help you. That's what Christian does, right? Looking for help.
Seriously, bro?
Yeah, we'll take care of it.
Thank you, my brother.
All right.
What I told you, bro. We're feet, man.
Yeah,
it's family.
That's it.
Family.
These men remembered each other because they grew up right here together, 40 minutes outside New Orleans. But they haven't seen each other for 30 years since Troy moved to Texas. Kindness is what brought them back together and will guarantee that Mrs. Morton.
Okay, you can see the church. Okay, this is all the Mosai. You can see the steeple over there. Okay, those are antennae that tap into the ley line and draw the energy. Okay, the job of a steeple, they are not just put them in there. So it's like, oh, that's a church. See, everybody that go inside of this church, okay, they just got it there. They like batteries. Okay, and they will push their energy into this antenna, and then it will shoot it into the air, and then will go through the ley lines, and the demons will feed on it. Likewise, the demon will send energy from the ley line, and it will fall into the steeple, and then it will possess the people. Okay, that's their job.
And will guarantee that Mrs. Morton rests peacefully again.
Once again, baby.
To rebury those caskets, families could rely on assistance from FEMA. In Louisiana now, and they did this right after Hurricane Katrina in 2005, they actually now mandate that you identify caskets for events just like this. And FEMA, by the way, will provide about $8,000 to families to make sure that those coffins are properly reburied.
All praises to the Most High. Ultimate disrespect to you Christian out there. This thing, man, the Most High is not playing, man. The Most High is not a respecter of a person, okay? No matter what your skin color is, the Most High will do things to you, man. You think you can go to those church and commit all those horrible things in his face, and then think you will be resting in peace? You pass all your life, you never repent, you very proud, okay, and then you get in your old age, you say, oh, the good Lord Jesus bless me, and then I'm gonna rest in peace. Get out of here, man. Do you know what your crime is?
Continuing our wildfire coverage. While South Lake Tahoe was largely saved from the Caldor fire, ABC 10's Barbara Bingley spoke with business owners who said that they took a major financial hit due to the weeks-long Highway 50 closure. Many are counting on tourists to come visit again.
We're probably closing up early today, yeah.
Noah Stiles is the assistant manager at Tahoe Bike and Ski Company. He says Highway 50 being closed for the last month has cut business in half.
I guess now it really tells a pretty good tale that most of our business does come from that way.
I got to give Noah some good news that Highway 50 would be reopening.
Oh, that's great. That's great.
Crews are now working to clear any remaining hazards by 8 a.m. tomorrow.
You know what that is, brothers? When the Most High close your highway for months because of a fire, and yet this thing is not in front page. They just sweep it under the rug and stuff. I didn't even know Highway 50 was closed for months. That's how long this fire been burning.
According to Caltrans, removal of dead and dying trees and power line repairs are the top priorities. They say there's still a lot of work to do, but enough work has and is being done to get people safely back on the burned part of 50.
And oil.
All praises to the Most High, okay? Yeah, this is fiery conflagration of the cities, okay? This thing been burning for months, so let us keep on going.
An oil spill mess for a Wilmington family. Eyewitness News was on Claymont Street this morning. Officials say that floodwaters from the remnants of Hurricane Ida flipped a home heating oil tank in the home's basement, causing a spill. Officials say the basement floor may have to be excavated to clean up the mess.
All praises to the Most High, man.
It stinks outside some Philadelphia public schools. Dumpsters are overflowing with trash. Some Philadelphia public schools. Dumpsters are overflowing with trash, and one school even has raw sewage seeping onto the street. And this is the environment our kids are supposed to learn in? Our Kelly Rule joins us live. And Kelly, it's a quality of life and education issue here.
Jason, it really is. And tonight the school district tells me they are aware of the issue, but you can see there are two clear issues here. One, certainly more obvious, trash piling up in the parking lot. This is an issue plaguing a number of Philadelphia schools. And then here on the sidewalk, you might not notice it if it weren't for the sign made up by a neighbor notifying you that this is sewage. The concern here is how often kids, even adults, are walking through it, bringing it into school and home. Trash bags exploding out of a dumpster along residential Green Street in Mount Airy. It's a similar sight at a number of Philly schools as the district says their waste management vendor is facing a driver shortage.
No hish, man. Yeah, so as you can see, brothers, and if the cities they cannot find the people to do this, and because what they are trying to say, brothers, what they are trying to portray, they're trying to portray that we cannot find workers to work in the retail store, the restaurant, the bus drivers, truck drivers, because they are all feeding on unemployment. Okay, they are all sucking unemployment. They are lazy. They don't want to do anything. What they don't tell the people, they don't say, well, there's a strong possibility at least one of those people are no more because of the plague. I didn't want to go into this, but let me go there. All right. Oh, boy. I don't want this thing, man. All right. Okay. This is... why I keep having Muhammad Ali here. Okay, Pentam. I think I kind of like mess up. Let me see if I got it here. Is it? Okay. COVID. Let me get this out of the way so I won't go into it again. I don't know why I got PBS in here, but is officially America's deadliest pandemic as U.S. fatalities surpass 1918 flu estimates. Do you know what that is? You see, the Most High is not playing. The Most High is not kidding. When they told you this thing surpasses the 1918 flu estimated, the fatalities, the death, we'll get back to the video, but let's see the 1918 pandemic. What was the death toll from the Spanish flu in 1918? Oh, boy. Oh, boy. They say it was like 1 million. It is estimated that about 500 million people, or 1/3 of the world population, become infected. I don't need the Spanish flu death toll. They are hiding the numbers. Okay, so let me see. The number of deaths was estimated to be at least 50 million worldwide, with about let's see, death tolls and and United States and USA. Okay, and USA. All right. Okay, they still keep putting the same garbage. Approximately 675. That's quite the opposite of the truth. Listen, let me tell you something. When they say this thing is worse than the 1918 thing that happened, and 1918 took 50 million people worldwide, if it is the worst the worst thing that so far, let us read it. Where do I have this? Okay. Excuse me. Okay, so is officially America's deadliest pandemic as U.S. fatality surpassed 1918 flu estimate. If it is here, over there, in the fourth part, the worst of this thing, beloved brothers and sisters, you better believe worldwide it is also the worst. If not even worse, if that's a word, than what we're having here. If this thing did kill 50 million people worldwide back in 1918, you better believe the number now, it's at least double or triple. I'll go for triple. Or I'll even further go for quadruple. At least 200 million or 300 million people or no more. China alone, India. Do you know what happened in India, man? For those of you who've been following, do you know what happened in India? India alone, at least 50 million people or no more. Those people are hiding. And that's how you catch them telling the truth. Oh, it's surpassing 600,000 and stuff like that. Okay. Reported U.S. death due 675,000. The estimated U.S. fatality from the 1918 flu, and are still increasing. And it will not stop, baby. It will not stop. You see, when this thing was like 600,000, one of the doctors came in. He says he estimated the minimum of people that are no more is around 3 million. The minimum. He said, I'm being very gracious here. I'm being very giving here. He said 3 millions. They are hiding Hitchman. They are covering the toilet seat so you won't see what's floating around the toilet bowl. Anyway, I will not read this. I'm gonna see if I can find a video. They should have a video here, but most of the time those videos are like garbage, like people dark side. Let me put this Calibac versus Superman. Boy, I watch a lot of crap. Okay. They haven't posted anything about this. Okay, the deadliest pandemic of 1918, 1619 to 1919, 300 years. The most I cut a little bit down, and then 400 years. So they haven't made any video yet. So they are trying to keep this. They're trying to find a way to flip this. So now, why I say this, they keep telling people like, oh, okay, well, this this driver shortage because most people are lazy, they don't want to work, and stuff like that and things. Now, one, a lot of them are no more. Two, you are forcing that hash upon them. You are forcing a queue. Chris Rock had that queue. Yet he still got infected. What's going on here? All right.
This is what it looked like for the kids coming back to school. It looked just like this on the first day of school.
And while it may be the first thing that catches your eye here, it's not the biggest concern for people right across from the Charles W. Henry School.
I smelled it just walking down the street.
So
Ruth.
Oh boy, look at this. Anyway, let's leave this here to show you the things. Now, one of our beloved sisters, she prophesied, she said, if you can see the so-called National Guardsmen or driving kids to school, you will see the police officers picking up your trash. Don't be surprised one of those states call for the National Guard to pick up the trash. Don't be surprised, brothers and sisters, you pull up to a McDonald's. Again, don't be email me your silly little email trying to tell me McDonald's food are not good. Thank you. Thank you for your expertise. Don't be surprised if you pull up to a McDonald's, you see a man in uniform serving you in there. The Mosai is mocking those people. He's hitting them left, right, up, down, and all around. They can catch a breath. They can catch a breather. No break, no pause. Full on throttle, no brakes.
Suker says she called the district about raw sewage bubbling over right outside the gate to the school's play area just a few days after school started.
It's not clear to me how there can be sewage running right where children and parents go in and out for 2.5 weeks and that it's not dealt with. I just don't understand it, you know, and it's not like nobody knows about it.
I saw one delivery truck today go right through it into the schoolyard.
So it's dragging it in.
Yes.
Neighbors tell us the trash they're almost getting used to. Speaking only to that issue last week, Superintendent Dr. William Height said they are doing what they can to manage it while their vendor works to get more drivers.
We have contracted several additional vendors and mobilized our own resources to collect overflow trash. Procured additional bulk dumpsters.
This dude's name is William Height. Yeah, it's like Hit was a Hittite. Are you an Hittite fellow? Are you an Hittite? Is this guy a Hittite? Are you an Hittite fellow? Show me a picture of a Hittite.
Check out these pictures.
Great. The Hittites. Oops. Abraham had the best when he was a Hittite, though. He was, what's his name again? King. Boy, I forgot that guy's name. I keep forgetting the name of that Hittite fellow. Okay, those are all lies and stuff. Abimelech. Abimelech means great king. That's all that means. Okay, so this is a Hittite. They had a giant here. Okay, you can see those people. Those are 6-7 foot men, and then the giant were like 40, 50, 20, 30, 50 feet tall. They were real people. And the land weren't that desert stuff. They were that lush land over there in the fourth port. Okay, Abimelech. Was Abimelech a Hittite? Let me see. Was King Abimelech a Hittite? Okay. That guy was trying to get down with Abraham's wife. Rebecca? Is that what that is? No. Sarai. Anyway, so it's striking me that dude name is Height. Hittite. Just, I don't know why this pop up in my mind, but anyway.
Dumpsters placed at various sites throughout the city.
A woman who asked to remain anonymous lives near McClure Elementary School in Hunting Park and hopes for improvement. Most importantly, for the smell.
There's days where it's bad, and then there's days where it's really bad. When it sits there, then there's a problem. You know, you got maggots, you got flies, you got cats going in there ripping up stuff. And
that's the plagues. That's the plagues.
And, you know, the smell is just travels all around this area.
Now, again, we did reach out to the Philadelphia School District about the sewage issue. A spokesperson told me today that the issue was fixed and that the debris was cleaned up. Well, you can see right now it's still a mess out here. So we did reach out to them again to see exactly what they plan to do about this.
All right, we know you'll stay on top of it. Thank you, Kelly.
All right, thank you for reporting this onto the Most High children to see how the Most High is mocking those people. All praises to the Most High. You're hiding the numbers. You don't want to tell the people how many people that are no more, and then they think those shortages are caused because of the pandemic. People are getting out of job. Whatever.
And with breaking news today, police are on the scene of a deadly drive-by shooting in the Fern Rock section of Philadelphia. Gunfire rang out late this afternoon. 1 person is dead, 5 others injured. It is Monday afternoon. I'm Brian Taft.
And I'm Sarah Bloomquist. The big story on Action News is breaking news of a deadly drive-by shooting with police officers just a block away at the time. Action News reporter Dan Cuellar live now at the scene at Broad and Shoe with what we know so far. Dan.
Sarah and Brian, a very crazy situation here at Broad and Shoe. As you can see, police have the area cordoned off. We're about a block north of the SEPTA-only transportation center, a very busy area. As you can see behind me, there is a sea of yellow evidence markers marking where a lot of bullet casings fell there on the highway. Police say it was about 2:18 that a man in the back seat of a car opened fire on a group of people standing on the sidewalk. When the shooting was over, 6 people had been shot, including a woman. One man, a 27-year-old, was killed.
All right, let me drink some water here. This guy is 27 years old. You know what to do. All praises to the Most High. Yeah, yes, yes.
Here's more from Deputy Commissioner Joel Dales.
This is a normally, like you said, it's a busy area. Thank God the children were not out when the shooting occurred. From what we have so far, only the victims were on the south side of Shoe Avenue when the shooting occurred.
Again, 1 man killed, 5 others listed in stable condition at nearby Einstein Medical Center. Police are looking for a silver Chrysler 300. They have plenty of surveillance video, they say, so they're hoping to get a tag number at some point. Not only are those bullet casings, but look over here, right next to us here at the corner of Broad and Shoe, another bullet casing. That's number 23. A lot of bullets fired here this afternoon. Again, police are just grateful that there were not any children nearby when all of this terrible situation happened.
All praises to the Most High, okay? This is plague number 5, destruction by the sword, and also plague number 9, execution by the sword. We give the Most High praises and glory. Let us keep on moving. Oops.
Reported and recorded across South Florida. Well, we're used to seeing gator sightings, but now coyotes and even foxes are wandering into quiet neighborhoods.
And tonight, a rabies alert is in effect in Weston, and that's where we find Local 10's Andrew Perez. Andrew.
You know, we've got a rabies alert in one area, we've got coyote concerns in another. We're starting to see more and more of these animal encounters.
So we've been reported for about a year now that, again, this is plague number 7, wild beasts will be their graves. You see, we've been reporting that those quote-unquote animals are being a lot more they've been too friendly, so to speak. It is the Most High moving them into position. What's gonna happen here, brothers? You saw a lot of coyotes, wolves, and bears and alligators and stuff like that become way more too common in the area that, the area that are inhabited by people. Animals, they use the ley lines to travel. They use the ley line to know where the area most of the people at. What you've been seeing for the past few months, that they also see this too. There has been an increase of coyotes, animals, and wolves and bears and alligators, like wild animals, like the capybaras taking over that place in Argentina. They've been seeing that snake. We even make a video. We say Shemael is in the mist. Do not Google Shemael and stuff. It's horrible. The results are horrible. By the book of remembrance of Achi, you will know who Shemael is. Shemael is in the mist. Okay, so they see that too. They say there's an increase. Why is that? You want to know why? Because animals, well, one, a lot of the people that used to live in those areas, they are no more. Animals can sense the ley line. They can sense energy in the ley line. And a lot of people and a lot of energy they felt like there's a group of people that are being diminished. That is why in the book of Deuteronomy and also the book of Exodus, the Most High say, I will not drive out the enemy at once from your face. I do not want the beast of the earth to overthrow you and overrun the place and run you out of the land. I will take them little by little. Okay. In 2020, the Most High take a couple millions. In 2021, he could take a couple dozens of millions. 2022, he will take a couple of hundreds of millions from the land. 2024, you take 1 billion, 3 billion of the earth. That's how the Most High does. Every year he's taking a lot. So that's why those animals are feel free. They're walking around and the Most High is moving them into position.
The further west we go. Just a typical morning in West Broward these days. This big gator taking a stroll crossing South Post Road in Weston.
Suddenly I saw something moving on the road. And I told my husband, be careful.
Rosa Sordo just left church and was headed home with her husband.
She just left church. We keep telling you people, this thing is very serious. Whether if you're a Jew or if you're Gentiles, you cannot, as of 2019 till forever, you cannot worship another God in the Most High's holy land. Those are foreshadowing, man. Horrible things.
Homes all around that area.
It was coming from Weston Hills, the lakes that are over there.
These wildlife encounters seem to be happening more often, though. Not
Exactly.
only gators, but as of late, we've noticed dozens of reports of foxes and coyotes. Jorge Leloy told us he was about to walk his dogs when he saw this.
Before I walk them anyway, I look who's there. Then I see this thing eating the iguana. He was eating the iguana and he wouldn't move.
This is in Tamarack. It's a neighborhood just off Northwest.
Again, in Tamarack again. So Tamarack, the Ararak. Okay, this is the land of all people. And you see a couple of, for those of you who remember, a couple of months ago, there was a little boy in Tamarack that was attacked by a coyote. And then Tamarack is like right there from Fort-Lauderdale. They are sister cities. You know, Tamarack is like 2-3 miles from me, from Fort Lauderdale. From North Lauderdale and Tamarack are basically the same. And those things are warming over there, okay? So the Most High, you see it, brothers. I'm not making this up. This is not something that I pay people to do. And what they are doing, and those animals, as of now, they are feeding on the iguanas. So the iguanas, it is said they are not native to South Florida. They were bought here as pets, and they cause a problem, a huge problem. Now the coyotes are, quote unquote, cleaning up this mess, and they are killing and eating those things. And then the Most High is moving those coyotes and put them in a position. When he give the big go-to, they will tear a lot of people apart. All praises to the Most High. Let us keep on going.
83rd Street. Several neighbors have also seen coyotes roaming around looking for food.
They have seen a pack of like 4. There are kids and a lot of dogs, you know, in the area.
In recent months, we've reported on pets taken by coyotes in Pompano Beach, other sightings in Hollywood, Pines, and Davie. Now, foxes have hit our radar. Residents warning each other in Weston this week.
He was not concerned at all when I was taking the picture.
A case of rabies in a fox found in Weston has even prompted a rabies alert. It's for the area north of Griffin Road, west of North Ridge Drive, south of Weston Hills Drive.
So anybody that know Weston, they know the area of Weston. That's what that Nicola Cruz kid, you know, did that stuff. You know who stay in Weston. That's like the Beverly Hills of Broward, you know, Weston.
Residents urged to take extra precautions with children and pets to watch their surroundings. Bottom line, we have to learn to live around these animals, but we also have to be.
You can't because you never did live with them before. The blessing was upon you. Now the Most High showing you a sign that, hey man, get the hell off the land, you know, and you cannot live with them here. Okay, we give the Most High praises and glory.
Be careful. Keep all of those rules and tips that we've been telling you about for weeks in mind. We've got so much more information on our website, resources, when and where to call if you do encounter a wild animal.
Yeah, whatever, man.
We start at 11 with breaking news out of North Philadelphia. 2 men are dead, another fighting for his life after a shooting inside a deli. Gunshots ringing out around 9:15 at North 12th and West Huntington Streets. All of the victims rushed to a hospital.
Okay, all right. We watched this before with the 12th Street and all that. I just realized that.
We begin with this breaking news. Officials say what could be around $1 million worth of stolen goods was found inside a house in Harrisburg. Our Robin Kennedy is at the scene now. Robin, this is a very active scene. What are you learning?
Well, Paige, there are more than a dozen law enforcement vehicles here, lots of police presence, and we are joined now by the Cabarrus County Sheriff Van Shaw. And Sheriff Shaw, can you tell us exactly what's going on, what you guys are doing here?
Absolutely. Yesterday, after a lengthy investigation, we executed a search warrant for stolen property here. This has been a joint investigation with our retail partners, as well as Charlotte-Mecklenburg Police Department, and we found a substantial amount of stolen property. Our partners include Lowe's, Home Depot, Kroger, Target, Publix, a number of retailers. Their loss prevention and retail theft investigators have been here working with us to identify the property and bring about the appropriate charges as well.
So, a lot of people are stealing hash because, well, the loss prevention folks, so a lot of them are no more, and few people are working, few people paying attention, and hey, people are swagger jacking more stuff. All praises to the Most High.
Take a look at this. A woman in southwest Atlanta dealing with a massive tree. Just take a look at it. It crashed into her home. We checked, no one was hurt, but she says it could have been a whole lot worse. CBS 46's Tori Cooper is live at this home right now, and Tori, the woman says the tree crashed into her son's bedroom, and she's lucky to be alive.
Yeah, Sean, this is the tree we've been talking about. Just take a look. Look at this. This is where the tree was uprooted. You can also see right where it was severed and the path it took right into their family's home.
This is what you see.
It's where her family was built.
This is my mother room.
But Monday morning, Jacqueline Slayton says she heard a loud crack inside her family home that she says could have cracked her heart in half.
You see how it don't poke up the bed, it don't poke up everything. So I'm happy that he was not here and was at work, because if he would have been here, I might have been burying my son.
Seconds later, she says her roof caved in. This tree outside split her house into two when it came down, leaving this massive hole in their home, landing just inches away from another piece of her own family tree.
I wouldn't get ready to come out and eat breakfast.
Her mother, Bertha, who was also still inside, just waking up to a stormy morning, looking out of her window.
So if I hadn't been, I would have got caught. But see, I went in my bed, he fell right on my bed. Get her out, I had to push the door like this and move some of that stuff to get her out. And she was so little, I said, pull her through here like this.
The tree tore up nearly all of their family roots that were living just beneath their roof. A costly cleanup now underway, but the branches to the Slayton's own family tree,
I'm just lucky,
still strongly,
the Lord just blessed me, honey,
intact.
Okay, the Lord just blessed me. So again, you can feel the vibe, you can feel the stuff. Okay, this is a fair ultimate warning to those people. Turn unto our Father. Turn unto him. Okay, Kabodiel give you a fair warning. Okay, you could have your son over there and killed him, your daughter, your little one, but he didn't. Okay?
But I just thank for all our life.
Okay.
Back live now, you can see the Slaytons are out here on their driveway. They have been bringing out a number of their belongings and taking it to their neighbor's house, where they will be keeping it for the remainder of their time out of their home. They also have the Red Cross here, who they tell us they will be leaning on for this hard time.
Red Cross, my My donkey, okay? Those are fair warning, brothers. Those are warning from the Most High. Turn away from your wicked ways. When the Most High say turn you away from your wicked ways, not from men, turn away from the church. Stop worshiping another God before him.
What the hell going on right here, man?
New video at 11. A crazy encounter on I-85. A man caught on camera hitching a ride on an 18-wheeler. The shirtless thrill seeker seen clutching the side view mirror with one hand and a smoke in the other.
CBS 46's Alan Devlin talked to drivers who saw it happen, and he joins us live. Alan.
Okay, this guy is very loud. I'm just warning you, okay?
Absolutely. That guy on the side of that semi-truck, one just like this one, going down 85, I'll tell you, he took a seat right on the side, had one hand up on the mirror, good confident hand grip, and even me doing this right now, it's difficult, yet he was doing it as this 18-wheeler was going down the highway. Take a look.
Y'all tell me what's going on right here, man.
It's not what you normally see going down 85 south.
What the hell going on right here, man?
A shirtless man in a do-rag, smoking something, confidently gripping the outside of a semi-truck as it rolls down the highway.
What is going on right here, man?
But his joyride didn't stop there. Another video, this time taken in Gwinnett, shows what appears to be the same man on a different truck.
Okay, so is that what this brother does? He just sit there and then catch rides and just smoke? Some crazy Haitian happening out there, and like crazy stuff.
The witness who shot the video told CBS 46, I just shook my head. The things I see go on in Atlanta does not surprise me. But the crazy weekend antics continued.
And somebody on the back of that bus. I was like, what is that? Something on that bus does not belong.
Okay, so that guy could not pay the bus. It's just, what the hell is this? What's going on there?
A mess is going on.
A video shot in Bankhead the same day shows another man straddling the back of a MARTA bus headed down Lindsay Street.
It looked like he was just having a free ride or something. I don't.
Okay. All right. I had to know the Most I had to send us some message here. All right. Yep. We got it. What are the odds? Gabriel Rod. The Most High is in the midst. The Archangel say, hold on to the hold on to this truck. The guy again, brothers, this dude is holding into a 18-wheeler, okay, 18, 1 plus 8, 9, destruction. Gabriel is in the midst, okay? Be careful when you're praying. You say the Archangel to remove certain things and put joy in the people's heart and stuff like that. They'll do that.
I don't know what's going on, but he rode for a good distance.
MARTA released a statement in response to a CBS 46 inquiry about the incident, saying in part, MARTA discourages this type of behavior because not only is it extremely dangerous, it's illegal. MARTA police detectives will review any available footage to see if they can identify the person and possibly file charges.
I've never seen anything like this. This is crazy. I was like, only in Atlanta you would see something like this going on.
All right, all praises to the Most High. We've been seeing Gabriel a lot. Okay, somebody, our people catch, let me see something here. Gabriel Petito. Okay, well, not Petito, but Petito. Gabriel Petito.
Disappearance of Gabby Petito was on Saturday, September 11th, 2021.
Yeah, I didn't say Gabriela, but anyway, so yeah, YouTube always playing mess. Boy, there was a shirt she was wearing, this yellow shirt right here, and this yellow shirt it says Zion Outdoor. Somebody caught that somehow, brothers. I didn't see this. I believe our beloved sisters, many people sent me this email. So she wore a shirt says Zion Outdoor. Okay, Gabriel is guarding Zion, you know, outdoors. Okay, all praises. Okay, Zion is no longer locked up indoor. He's outdoor now. All praises to the Most High. Okay, so her name is Gabriel, and we just watch another Gabriel. Let's keep moving, brothers.
Students destroy and steal school property in order to get likes and follows. A social media challenge has hit schools in our area.
Thank you to beloved brother Ali. He sent me an article about this. He said he one of the guy that he went to school with is catching hell. They were posting things and said, stop doing this, tell your children and stuff like that. But this hash is real.
It's a TikTok trend called devious licks. Students post themselves trashing school bathrooms and stealing school property.
Several local schools are now warning parents about it. The vandalism happened recently at Airport High School in Carlton. Victor Williams is there live for us tonight. And Victor, we know TikTok is removing the videos, but that hasn't stopped some students.
That is right, Steve and Sandra.
Again, this dude name is Victor. Okay, we found Victoria, Victor, Victory. Okay, Victor, Victoria, Michael, and all that. They all are the same.
That has not stopped the students at the high school or the middle school here in the Airport Community School District. But this is not just happening here in the state of Michigan. It is happening all over the country, unfortunately.
I'm not a big TikToker, but I got wind of this one right around the start of school, just started hearing whispers of it. And then we started seeing some things here in actually the first week of school that indicated we had some kids that were definitely participating.
Airport Community School Superintendent John Krimmel speaking on the latest TikTok challenge that has students literally damaging school property, all for the sake of likes.
They're taking anything, whether it be a soap dispenser or other item in the bathroom, and then they take it home. They video themselves with the item and post it on TikTok.
The videos often have a caption that explains the person involved has just, quote, hit a lick of some sort.
Which seems to be that's associated with stealing.
Superintendent Krimmel says if caught, students who participate in the challenge are not only going to face school discipline, but potential legal consequences as well.
It's a shame that the attention on social media is more important in some cases than actually like I mentioned, having pride in the school that you go to and the things, the good things.
All praises to the Most High. Those people, you open your school and that's what happened, man. All praises, okay? $10 million home owned by Google billionaire Larry Page destroyed by fire. All praises to the Most High. Okay, so you billionaires have that, what is it, DAWs? Yet you're burning your own houses. Nah, man. I don't even want to read this. All praises. Our prayers are working, brothers. We can't wait for this house that is not black to get the same fate, or suffer the same fate. Thank you to the sister that sent this to me. You know, these things. I'm receiving so many things, but hey, you know, $10 million house, man. You know, that's a $10 million home. No jokes here. Okay, again, the COVID is officially America's deadliest pandemic, and it's not slowing down. All right? Okay? All right, let's close with this, see what's going on here.
But what was caught on camera appears to show this was no accident. Local 10's Bridget Matter is in Homestead with a critical clue that could help catch this suspected arsonist.
I spoke to the owner of this academy. He says when students arrived to school this morning, they were in tears. It was because of this, their playground torched. The playground at Campbell Academy in Homestead is no more. Early Monday morning, it was set on fire and it was...
What is the word she used? Let me see.
They were in tears. It was because of this, their playground torched. The playground at Campbell Academy in Homestead is no more.
The playground is no more, okay? No more playing in our ground. The playground in our land is no more. Thank you for using that word.
Early Monday morning, it was set on fire, and it was all caught on camera. The owner of the academy, Jorge Lopez, says the students were devastated.
The students were crying. They were asking, they were saying, where's my playground? They call it park. Where's my park?
Watch here. The playground suddenly goes up in flames, and a person sprints away. As the person runs towards the camera, it appears they have longer hair and possibly a mask on.
Very upsetting because I have no idea what, people, who can do something like that.
This video shows the flames as firefighters work to put it out. This was the playground before, essentially brand new since the school opened in February. The owner says there were no threats to the school and he doesn't know who would do this.
Never in a million years I would expect something like that would happen.
Tonight, the suspected arsonist is still on the run. The owner says it will cost more than $100,000 to rebuild, and he is offering a...
What? to rebuild a playground?
A $10,000 reward for information leading to an arrest.
Wow. Can't build a home with that anyway, man. Big Levi got 100 G's. I can do a lot of things with this. A playground? Okay. Oh, that's a lot of things. Okay. All praises to the Most High, man. And we see, brothers, we understand that the Most High is in the midst. Fast, pray, repent, repeat. Let me see. Okay. Fast, pray, repent, repeat, beloved brothers and sisters, Jews and Gentiles alike. You have a great night. So, let me upload this video. I see how long this thing took me. Wow, 2 hours and 23 minutes. So, yeah, brothers, yeah, a lot's going on, man. Okay. Fast, pray, repent, repeat. May the King reign forever.